Yeah, they are. So, I'll ask you a good old question that everyone have asked, discussed a lot on social media, that should we be concerned about this artificial intelligence and machine learning?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
No, what I mean, should we be afraid of it?
We should be afraid of a lot of things. Like, to me, AI is one of 3 things that can make us extinct.
Okay.
Right. The other thing is genetics.
Yes.
Genetics also can go out of hand and create, irreversible damages to us.
Mm-hmm.
Also, all these viruses and experiments that they do with viruses, that also could go out of hand. And so AI is next to this genetics and viruses in terms of damage that it can do if it goes out of hand. And it's not unimaginable. We are already seeing a lot of movies and excitement in Hollywood and things like that. And some of them are not that unreal. We can relate to some of them, that why things can go wrong. But what can affect us is not like always like killer robots are killing us and things like that. It could be misuse of AI.
Yes.
That's more dangerous and more near future for us than killer robots that would fight against us and things like that. For example, imagine an HR system.
Yes.
Right now you apply for a job, definitely the first pass through your CV is going to be a computer program. That would go through, screen your application, and those only pass through this program would be looked at by an HR person, which is about 10% of the applications and things like that. Now, the other 90% will get a rejection letter and then ends in here. No harm done, they apply for another job. Now we are moving to connecting all the systems together. So now let's say that you have all the HR systems, they are talking to each other, they're sharing information, right? Which makes sense, because if this guy is not eligible for this job, there are a lot of jobs similar to this that he's not eligible to. Why spend too much time re-screening the same person? So they can share their rejection list or success rates as well. So what would happen then? Very simply, after a while, then you end up with people who are in many rejection lists, and they become unemployable because some programs decided that they're not fit for one job or 2 jobs and things like that. So then we end up with decisions made by machines for people that affects them for their whole life. Some people become successful people that wherever they apply, they get a job because in the past they have got more jobs or passed through more things. And some people, they apply even they won't screen because they are in the list. So this sort of thing can actually is more dangerous and more imminent than killer robots. A lot of things in organizations are becoming automated. And as they become automated, a lot of decisions are made by machines through these programs. And programs, no matter how smart they have bugs, and their decision making is different from the way we make decisions. So for example, in HR example, it's not that uncommon that you look at a candidate who is not qualified for a job, but you decide that there's a spark in his eyes when he's talking. I like this guy. I think his CV or the way he's presenting himself is not right. He needs an opportunity to show himself. And then you give them the job and they shine and all this. Machines don't see the spark in people's eyes.
Absolutely.
So that sort of thing would be completely gone when machines start making more and more decisions. Now imagine a city. In a city, you need planning for the city based on the data available about the city, which machines can easily take over. You need to have strategies of developing the cities, and machines can easily take over strategizing about how you can grow a city more rationally than people. And then they can manage the resources of the city even better and more rationally without any prejudice. So machines can take over this, and we only be feeding the machines with information, and then you follow the decisions that are making. So in that case, who is running the city? Are we working for machines, or machines are working for us? So that is the question that we would be facing pretty soon, when the more and more automations comes in, more and more AI comes into the picture. So after a while, you don't know who is working for who. Are we satisfying criteria required by some machines about how we live, or actually they are following what we want them to do for us? So that's more imminent than any major threats from the machines.
Well, to be honest, while you were expanding on this concept, I realized that we are in the middle of the problem already then, because many people are relying on this tool.
Yes.
I know one or two friends from different companies who are actually doing the same thing what you are saying. So this means that it's already happening, and we, just like global warming, no one is looking at this problem.
Yeah, that's an imminent problem. That is what is going to become bigger and bigger, because more and more AI gets integrated into our lives and what decision making, it takes over the companies and things like that. So at some point, that line between who is the master, who is the slave, would be really blurry. So, and that's not really good, because again, the way we make decisions is different from the way machines are making decisions. They are optimizing. We're not always optimizing, and we have other reasons to do things that are not even optimal, but they are good decisions anyway.